Well, I'm back here in Salome, Arizona. Tiny little town, cool little town, but one heck of a small town. But check out this country. I'm in the middle of nowhere outside of Salome. Look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. So quiet, so peaceful. Nothing out here but yourself and your thoughts and just a regroup of life. Anyway, I've been looking for deer. It's bow hunting season, and right now the deer are rutting right now, which means that they're in heat, they're breeding, they're looking for a mating partner. I got to go up over this pass over here, and I believe it's this pass right here. I got to go up and over this mountain and basically go behind this mountain here. I thought I could hike it in because it was only like it was only a mile, just a little over a mile. But as you can see, that's not just over a mile. That is definitely going over a treacherous peak, and I can make it there a hell of a lot faster, and I can make it there in that thing. So definitely going to take the easier route on this one and not try to take down that freaking mountain. When I get onto that other side, I do have some hiking to do, but I did just want to take a minute and just, whenever you get a chance to get out into nature, get that digital detox and just take a break from life and all the notifications and everything that we get on our phone, just a little bit of earthing. When you get out here, soak that up, enjoy it, because we just live in a busy world, and it's constantly going, and like I said, notifications and things coming up and people trying to get a hold of you and business and all of that. And I'm really grateful to have a beautiful, supportive wife at home. Thank you, honey, for letting me come out and sneak out of here almost every weekend. Well, last weekend was the first weekend. This weekend's the second weekend, but I do appreciate you being so supportive and caring and, letting me go out and do boy stuff and play. But, yeah, I'm going to get on this trail here and see if we can get over that pass, which I know we can, but, it's going to be a little bit of some travels, but it's going to be a heck of a lot easier than climbing that mountain right there. So we'll see you on the other side of the hill, see you on the other side of the bend, and here we go. Peace. I was just starting to go on that trail, and I had to stop and show you this rock. Check this thing out. Let's see if I can get over there. Look at this thing. It's just barely sitting on here. Is that not the craziest thing ever? Look how big this freaking rock is. Let me bring this out a little. I can't even bring it out. I'm on 0.6. Holy freaking moly. That is a trip. Alright, let's get back on this trail. That is so crazy. Look at that thing. Wow. Alright, here we go. Let's get back to the razor here and get on with our trail. So just got up here to the pass. Figured I'd stop and show you this. Look at this. Look at all that farmland down there. Let's see if I can zoom in. That's all farmland. What they're mostly farming down there, believe it or not, is pistachio. They got like fucking miles of pistachio trees everywhere. So here's that pass. We're coming through basically the saddle of the mountain, which is going over this whole region here and coming down this way. I've never been down this way. Years ago, I camped out up here, just like right over there, and I was just in a tent. Obviously, I didn't bring my camper up here, nor did I even have a camper then. I was freaking dirt poor back then. But that's another thing. Every year that I've come up here, which again, I haven't been up here in years, but every year I would come up and I would reflect on my whole year. And one of the coolest things that I so enjoyed was every single year I was this much further ahead in life. I had just a little bit more business, a little bit more accounts, a little bit more money in my pocket, was married to a horrible freaking wife. I was in a very destructive marriage, but every year I would sit in that blind waiting on a deer, and it would just be quiet, and I would just get time to reflect and actually look back at the whole year and go, man, dude, I made it just a little bit further ahead. And here I am today, 7 years divorced, a few months married to the most beautiful woman on the fucking planet. I am more wealthier than I've ever been in my entire life as far as finances go. And I have the most beautiful marriage, beautiful relationship. And to be up here and to know that after 15 years of coming up here, minus, the handful of years I didn't come up here throughout divorce, throughout rebuilding my company, resetting my whole entire life, restructuring everything, and just, a massive reset. I sold over half my company. My ex-wife tried to take me out of business. I lost so much. I went from having 15 employees 6.5 years ago, to having 6 employees, and I had 4 weeks left of payroll left in my bank account. I was ready to let those 6 guys go on the 3rd week and tell everybody, I'm sorry, but this is your last week. And what I did was I bought a toy hauler and I parked it at my shop, and I lived in my trailer for a 1.5 years at that shop. And I know how I rebuilt the company, but at the same time, I just don't know how the fuck I actually made it. And today I have 2 companies, this small YouTube channel, more business, more money in my bank account, investments in stocks, investments in crypto. I am just the most blessed that I could be. And this is all a part of getting wealthy. This is all a part of getting rich. And I have hit every aspect of getting rich in my life. Again, relationship, fucking millionaire. I have well over $1 million in equity and in business. And this past year, we broke $2 million in overall revenue. I gotta tell you, when you look back and you reflect of all the hard times and all the struggles and all the battles and how you feel like you just are not going to be able to get through that shit, let me tell you, man, you fight every single day. You fight like fucking crazy to get through that, and that shit builds you. That's what makes you that stronger, better man, woman, whatever it is. You build that person that you want to become. And it's those hard and trying times and figuring out yourself. Never give up. Just never give up. Every time hard shit happens, good. Fucking more time to figure it out, more time to learn, more time to improve. And that comes from, that Navy SEAL guy, Jocko. Just more time to get better. So get after your dreams, get after your life. Hopefully this is something in your life that you do somewhat of like once a year or a handful of times a year, and you're able to reflect on that time passed since the last time you were there and actually look back and go, man, I made this achievement, or I made these small monumental goals, or I'm a little bit bigger, I'm a little bit stronger, I'm a little bit smarter, you know. And it's just so cool to stand here, you know, in this saddle of this mountain and just see like how much I actually turn things around in my own life and actually truly found the most amount of fulfillment. So get after your dreams, never give up, and let's go find some deer. Well, that was one hell of a long ass trip. Finally got to this water hole. About to check it out. I've seen some tracks along the way driving. Let's see if we've got any action here at this watering hole. There's another watering hole right there. Doesn't look like we have any tracks here. I don't see any sign of any deer, so we're gonna walk this perimeter and see if we see anything of like them having a trail coming in here, having tracks coming in through a wash. So far I don't see diddly squat. So the way these work here is sometimes these are made out of like corrugated steel, and sometimes they lay out vinyl. Looks like they got this one laid out in vinyl, as you can see. They'll come over here and they'll make patches, so when we get lots of rain, all that rain will catch here and go down into that hole right there, which goes down that pipe and feeds that tank that's sitting underneath that little shed. And then it feeds that watering hole and then the one just below it. They'll also come up here. The money that you pay for your hunting license, for your deer tag, your fishing license, all of that stuff helps pay to keep these things going, keeps the animals hydrated, has a place for them to get water. Here in the desert, it can be really rough, and we can find, or we can have a lot of times, a lot of months, sometimes years, where there's just like no water, no rain at all. I don't see any sign of any deer at all. Now when I was coming in on the other side of this mountain here, there was a lot of tracks in the wash, in several washes. Now there's a watering hole just on the other side of that mountain, just under a mile from here as the crow flies. But you can see you'd have to go up over that whole thing, all the way back down to find your watering hole. And see, there's just nothing here. And I'm running out of fucking fuel, so I'm gonna head down to the road. There's another watering hole along the way. We're gonna check out that one, and then we're gonna hop back onto the highway and drive all the way to my truck, load this thing up on the truck, get this fueled up, and then drive my truck to this side of the mountain and go check out that other one over there. There was a lot of tracks on the other side of that mountain and in the washes, so they very well might be coming up and down that wash, and they'll favor a watering hole. They'll just pick one and they'll just favor the fucking shit out of that one, and all the bucks will be coming to that one, the does will be coming, the fawn, baby deer. So let's see here. We got a water catch. Let's see how much water we've had. We've actually had a ton of rain, and this is even with a little bit of evaporation here. Look at this. So we've had let's see here, close to 3 inches of rain. I don't know if you can see this right here. It's probably been right at 3 inches, and that's just a little evaporation. So we've had a crazy amount of rain, and as you can see, look at how green the desert is. I've lived out here for 23 years, and 24 years, something like that. I moved here in 02. It's 2006. Damn, getting old, all that gray hair. Doesn't rain like this very much. Every once in a while, we'll get a bunch of rain in the winter, and then a bunch of rain in the spring. And if it rains in the spring, it is absolutely fucking beautiful. The hills are green like it is now, but everything is flowering. It's just absolutely amazing when you get a lot of rain in the desert. It is so freaking nice to drive around. But just like every year, it gets miserably hot. So, all right, let's get the hell out of here. We're here at the 3rd watering hole, and there ain't nothing. So the last one that I want to go check out is where I saw the most amount of tracks in the wash. That's a ways back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna hop back onto the road. Let me climb over this fence. Ooh. We're gonna hop back onto the road, and we're gonna go back, get my truck, load this thing up on the trailer, come back around on the highway, fuel everything up, and go check out that other spot. So far, there was a ton of tracks coming in and out of the washes there. So let's see if we got better luck there. If not, we keep on looking. They're out here. They are out here. I know. You know, I brought in family with me hunting before, you know, knowing that there was deer in the area, you know, and we'd be hunting and they're like, dude, there is nothing out here. Trust me, Josh, there is nothing out here. And sure enough, deer would walk in, bucks would walk in, and they would be fucking shocked. So it just is what it is. You gotta keep searching. You gotta keep at it. And like I say, never give up, man. Fucking keep at it. Don't be a pussy. Fucking fight your way to success. And this is one of those things right now. We are fighting our way to success. We got to track these things down. I've got till the end of the month to find a deer or find where they're at. And it is January 16th. I got till January 31st. So we're not going to waste our time on something that is not showing signs and increasing our odds. So let's go find a better spot. Let's go find where there's tracks. Here we go. Putting today to a close. As you can see, I got my campfire going. Got camp set up right here. Just the truck. Trailers unloaded. Got my razor ready to go in the morning. got my hunting bag all set up. So what do we hate? Well,
that you had you want you.
Since last weekend and this weekend, I've checked out now 5 spots. One of them being the spot that I always saw deer in, and no deer anywhere. Now, when we were coming through that pass, I did find a spot at the bottom of a mountain that was like a bowl, and deer and elk love bowls. The wind spins in a bowl. And what I mean by a bowl, it's like a bowl, it's like a mountain range all around you. And deer love that, elk love that, animals love that because the wind spins inside of a bowl and they can pretty much smell anything that's in that area. So there was a bunch of tracks in a wash as we were coming up and over the pass and coming all the way through here. We went up and over all of those mountains today, pretty much from over there, and made our way all the way here, and then went all the way out, all the way back around those mountains in the Razor on the highway, and fucking picked up my truck, loaded everything up, drove to the other side of these mountains, which is this side. So definitely one heck of a long ass day. Really wish I would have saw some signs at these watering holes, but there's this one watering hole that I'm going to hike into tomorrow morning. I don't see on the mapping, I don't see any like roads go into this watering hole, which is really, really strange because there's typically a road that goes to it so that way game and fish can maintenance it. But when you zoom in on the hunting app on satellite image, you can actually see the tank, the guzzler, everything. So I'm hopeful that this is a spot that there is no road to get up there, which still doesn't make sense to me. But if there's not, it's so that bowl that I was talking about where all those tracks are at, the bowl is right here and the water hole is like right here. So it's literally like right in that vicinity. So if there is no roads going in there, then that means there's no UTVs, there's no quads, there's no dirt bikes going in there. And 99% of hunters do not get out of that. They just drive around and drive around and drive around. So it's about a mile damn near straight uphill. So I've got my hunting bag loaded up. We're going to hike it in the morning. And I really hope that I don't get up there and there's like nothing there or used to be something there. But satellite image is showing it. So I'm going to throw a steak on this fire. I've already had like freaking 5 hot dogs today. So all of them raw. And this one I cooked on this fire. But anyways, it's been an awesome day. I'm super happy. I've got my little cot all set up in here, so that's where I'm sleeping tonight. Got my overalls for the morning, just so that way I can dress light because it's going to be a warm day tomorrow. But when you're driving first thing in the morning, it's freaking freezing. So, and then once I start hiking uphill, I'm going to be pouring sweat. So, yeah, really, I'm happy with today. I'm grateful that I got to take the day off of work, and it's always nice to crash out in the desert and kind of fun in the back of the truck because usually I drag my toy hauler everywhere. So doing a little roughing camping. I'm gonna take a baby wipe bath tonight, so pretty cool. Get to enjoy some quiet time. Gonna throw a steak on right now and have a cigar and get to bed early, wake up super early, and fingers crossed that I'm on to something because it's the only spot out of all these spots that I've been to, and I've hunted this whole area for years. And again, I haven't been here in years, but I've hunted him for like 15 years. There's always always been deer in this area, and I'm really shocked that all these places that I've been to had no sign of deer at all. So I have one spot that looked promising. Now, if I get up there and there's nothing, so be it. It is what it is. I'll get up there. I'll do some glassing because it's right over where I saw all those tracks at. I'll glass out for a while. I'll look for sign. If there's nothing, you just got to move on. If there's no sign of anything when you're desert mule deer hunting, it's just time to move on. So, anyways, calling it a night. See you in the morning. Before I forget, one more thing. Apparently, everybody on YouTube, well, not everybody, but things that I watch on YouTube, people are just throwing their steaks like right on the coals. So let's give this a shot. I've got a steak here. I like to dry my steaks out, so I'll put them in the fridge out of the bag. I put them on like a rack and I let them air dry, and I'll do that for a couple of days. I think it makes, oh shit, that motherfucker's hot. I'll do that for a couple of days. Man, if I put it in there, I don't think I'm gonna be able to freaking get it out. Let's see here. But anyways, they put this right on the coals. So here we go. Let's try this out and see how it works. Apparently when it's done cooking, like the coals just fall right off of it. So we'll see. But you hear it sizzling. Listen. That's my steak. I really hope it's not freaking burning. Alright, let's see here. Let's grab a stick here. Oh shit. Fucking fire is super hot. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Well, it looks really good. Alright, well, let me set you down here. Let's see if I can set it up where you can see. Alright, here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, that fire is hot, boy. I mean, to be really honest, I don't think it cooked long enough. Alright, let's see here. Oh shit, that thing is super duper hot. Well, I don't know. Here, we'll let it cool off for a minute and we'll cut it and see how it looks. Alright, well, I guess let's see how we did here. Dude, that fire is so freaking hot. Alright. Not too bad. Well, let's give it a taste here. Worked pretty damn good. A little crusty. Not bad. I was using a lot of this wood here, which here in the desert we call this ironwood. That wood right there burns so hot. Like if you do huge dense logs of it, like if you have the slightest bit of a dull chainsaw, no joke, a chainsaw, you're not gonna fucking cut through it. You're gonna just burn up the chainsaw. Putting a little salt on this girl. This right here. Oh. Alright. Not fucking around. First time I ever threw a steak right on the coals. Really not that bad. I think the coals could have been not as scalding hot as those are. Probably would have cooked a little more even, but without having to set up a little grill or anything, that's where it's at. Maybe tomorrow night, we'll just set a rock in the middle of that thing. All right.